Brodes Media.
This is absolute hell. Where do we begin? I thought the refs sucked. You had a double-digit lead, though, in the fourth. You lost to Bo Nix at home. It's a disgrace. Saquon Barkley gets 6 total carries, 1 in the second half. Again, when you're leading big, what that tells me, A.J. Brown and his comments and him running his mouth and being very selfish dictated the way the coaches coached the game. It's not ironic that the same exact week following another noisy A.J. Brown, that we're wondering how they get away from the run game this obnoxiously. And we could talk all about how the offensive line isn't the same and they weren't getting that much great run production as it was even in the earlier 4 weeks. And I'm aware, I know. But for you to get this far away from something that is so on brand with what you do, Kevin Patullo, Nick Sirianni, they got influenced. They let A.J. Brown call the shots. You lost. That's an issue. It's an issue. Along with being undisciplined late, along with A.J. Brown giving up on routes. Was it overthrown? I don't know. A.J. Brown stopped running. He said it had nothing to do with Jalen clutching, double clutching. It had everything to do with just, it was a long developing play. I didn't think I'd get the ball. I looked up. I didn't see the ball yet. I stopped running. You can't stop running. Especially when you don't shut up. You don't shut up. You have to back up your play. I saw a shot on the sidelines when the Eagles were still up big. Man, he looked like a baby. He looked so not happy. He looked like there was so much displeasure going on. There's real beef happening. And we're getting into a sticky situation. I mean, Hugh Douglas, who's tapped in, he had a hell of a rant on WIP if you missed it. But one of the days he was saying what he's hearing is bad. Between AJ and Jalen. Bad. Then you had Rossini put out a piece saying that they just have a professional working relationship. Well, that's all great and dandy if you have a professional working relationship and you never had a strong friendship to the point where it was brotherhood. But if you go from brotherhood and you are my godparent of my children to now we're just a professional relationship, then it's not fixable. Then it's real problematic. And I think we have something boiling internally that is real problematic. Now, will it automatically be their downfall? I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe they can still work around the uncomfortableness. Maybe it can be a strange, unique room and they still do it because they just want to win that badly. Maybe. But these antics of the body language and the moping and the Nick Pivetta crap, that's what it was. When you watch Nick Pivetta for the Phillies cry, walking off the mound, pouting, shoulder slumped. Here's AJ on the bench. Here he goes. Eagles are up 17-3, trying to go 5-0, undefeated in the first 5 games after winning the Super Bowl. Here he is, twisting his neck back and forth, as he's quitting on routes. And this is where Kevin Patullo comes into play. Kevin Patullo is so overmatched, it's not even funny. I'd imagine, if you have half a brain cell, you would respect Shannon Sharp's football knowledge, right? I'm not saying every opinion he ever has in the history of football is correct, but I think he's intelligent. Yeah, I see why A.J. Brown's upset. He runs 3 routes. An under, a slant, and an occasional sluggo. I'm frustrated watching this shit. Kevin Patullo has no idea what he's doing. Just none. And clearly neither does Nick Sirianni, because if it's this blah and this silly, then you have to do something about it. And Nick doesn't do anything about it because I think he believes in what Kevin Patullo sells, and that's why they're a 1-2 punch. They both look this way, or they both feel this way. They both think that this is what it should look like. Oh my God, it's awful. It's so bland, it's not even funny. So then when A.J. Brown late is running his 75th slant of the day, and he's getting swarmed, and he's getting draped all over, and I see him on the sideline, again, complaining where the ball placement was, as if it wasn't the most obvious route in the history of obvious routes, because it's all you run. Who are we mad at here? It starts with the offensive minds. That's problem number one. I thought Jalen had some really nice balls. Listen, on 4th and 4 at the 50, you gotta have it play. He throws a beauty to Devontae Smith. That's game on the line stuff. Made an excellent, excellent pass. Illegal formation. That throw to Jahan Dotson. Oh my God. And the refs blew that one too. Whoever's watching in the command room, or whatever the hell they call it. Here's the thing, right? We can sit here all we want and say we can't blame the refs. You had a double-digit lead, and I agree with that. But then that allows the refs to get off the hook. The refs fucking sucked. The Eagles blew it too. The Eagles blew it too. Saying it again. The Eagles blew this. The refs sucked. Saying we can't blame the refs allows for that fucking horse shit to continue, and you have to accept it. I'm not fucking accepting that bullshit. Cooper DeJean, fumble, takes 3 points off the board. That's a fumble. The arm motion going forward crap, bullshit. Fumble. Wasn't even close either. Clear fumble. They got that wrong. The Jahan Dotson play. Clear. Both feet in bounds. The Dallas Goedert. Pass interference. Clear. Disgusting. Putrid. These are all real. These are all facts. The Zach Bond play, I'm 50-50 on. 50% of me thinks, come on, Zach, you got to be smarter than that. The other goes, the guy was still trying to maintain his knees off the ground to get more yards. The guy's attempting to still get more yards, even though he's tackled. What the fuck are you doing? Throwing that Bush League flag. So there's that, too. I mean, it was bad. Bad. And I don't feel ashamed saying that. That was a part of this game. And you still could have won even, well, the whole game would have changed. You could have made plays earlier, so then, you know, the Dallas Goedert play isn't even a thing because you're up and you're winning and you have the lead, so it doesn't even come down to that. So clearly, some of these possessions, Zach Bond trying to make the tackle, it wouldn't play out the same way. So all of that would have changed, but both are true. You pissed all over yourself and urinated all over yourself, and the ref should be ashamed and not get paid for the day. There is a chemistry problem. Just in regards to being a team. You could win games, and winning games is great. But what makes Nick Sirianni's messaging very impactful when it all aligns is he makes sure that you build a culture where you are brothers with one another, where you will do anything for one another, where you love one another. You will sell your soul for the guy next to you in the stall. And I think that does matter when you're on the field. Every inch that you're trying to earn, you will do anything to get that inch for the next guy. Doesn't look to me that's the way they play offensively. Every man for themselves. When Devontae gets a catch, you know what I think? AJ's pissed. When Jahan Dotson gets a target, I think AJ's pissed. I don't think the team is happy and thrilled the ball's moving downfield. I think, well, AJ's not happy. That's just not a winning culture set. And I'm not telling you, kick AJ Brown out of here, blah, 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 blah. That's not what I'm saying. I don't know what you do. I don't know if this is a fixable relationship. I'm not sure. I'm starting to believe that it's possible they can't. I can read it, man. If you can't see it with the way AJ standing in front of his locker, here we go again. Here we go again. And he plays the victim a lot. He's a narcissistic guy, is what it comes down to. That's my read on it. I think it's like a toxic relationship where if he was in a relationship, it's narcissistic. The smile, the apology, the doing it again. It's one crazy, vicious cycle. And that's the type of personality we're dealing with. When it's good, it's good. When it's great, it's great. But man, when there's ever adversity hit, he's the first one to quit. He's the first one to make it more difficult for everybody around you. He makes it way harder than it needs to be. And look at what they did. They tried everything in their power to make him happy.